सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम सच्चिदानंदरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रय विनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः। निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं शुकमुखादमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भावुकाः। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्। समस्त देवताभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो ब्राह्मणेभ्यो आचार्येभ्यो भक्तेभ्यो साधुभ्यो साधकेभ्यो तीर्थेभ्यो क्षेत्रेभ्यो नदीनदेभ्यो शास्त्रेभ्यो नमः। समस्त ब्रह्म विद्या आचार्येभ्यो नमः। श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराण आचार्येभ्यो नमः। परब्रह्मणे महाविष्णवे ब्रह्मणे सनकादिमुनिभ्यो नारदाय वेदव्यासाय शुकब्रह्मर्षये सूतमहामुनये शौनकादिऋषिभ्यो अत्र्यादिऋषिभ्यो प्रह्लादादिभक्तजनेभ्यो आदित्यादिनवग्रहदेवताभ्यो मत्स्यावतारेभ्यो दक्षिणामूर्ति दत्तात्रेय हयग्रीवादि गुरुभ्यो नमः। दुर्गालक्ष्मी सरस्वती स्वरूपिण्ये नमः। आदिपराशक्त्यै नमः। मातापितृदेवताभ्यो नमः। आद्य शंकराचार्यवर्यादि गुरुभ्यो नमः। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम श्रीकृष्ण परब्रह्मणे नमः। श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराणम् एकादश स्कन्धः मुक्तिर्हित्वा अन्यथा रूपं स्वरूपेण व्यवस्थितिः। अथ षड्विंशोऽध्यायः। श्रीभगवानुवाच ऐल उवाच 18 क्वायं मलीमसः कायः दौर्गन्ध्याद्यात्मको अशुचिः क्व गुणाः सौमनस्याद्याः यध्यासो अविद्यया कृतः पित्रोः किं नु स्वं नु भार्यायाः स्वामिनोऽग्नेः स्वगृध्रयोः किमात्मनः किं सुहृदाम् इति मा इति यो नावसीदति सीयते तस्मिन् कळेवरे मेध्ये तुच्छनिष्ठे विसज्जते। अहो सुभद्रं सुनसं सुस्मितं च मुखं स्त्रियाः त्वं वांसरुधिरस्नायु मेदो मज्जास्ति संहतौ वीण्मोत्रपूये रमताम कृमीणां कियदन्तरम् अथापि नोपसज्जेत स्त्रीषु स्त्रैणेषु चार्थविदु विषयेन्द्रियसंयोगात् मनः क्षुभ्यति नान्यथा अदृष्टाद् अश्रुताद् भावात् न भाव उपजायते असंप्रयुञ्जतः प्राणान् शाम्यते स्तिमितं मनः तस्मात् संगो न कर्तव्यः स्त्रीषु स्त्रैणेषु च इन्द्रियैः विदुषां चाप्यविस्रब्धः षड्वर्गः किमु मादृशाम्। श्रीभगवानुवाच एवं प्रगायन् नृपदेवदेवः स ऊर्वशीलोकमथो विहाय आत्मानमात्मन्यवगम्य मां वै उपानमज्ञानविधूतमोहः ततो दुःसङ्गमुत्सृज्य सत्सु सज्जेत बुद्धिमान् सन्त एतस्य छिन्दन्ति मनोव्यासङ्गमुक्तिभिः सन्तो नपेक्षामच्चित्ताः प्रशान्ताः समदर्शिनः निर्ममा निरहङ्काराः निर्द्वन्द्वा निष्परिग्रहाः तेषु नित्यं महाभागेषु मत्कथाः सम्भवन्ति हितान् नॄणां जुषतां प्रपुनन्त्यघं ताये शृण्वन्ति गायन्ति ह्यनुमोदन्ति चादृताः मत्पराः श्रद्धानाश्च भक्तिं विन्दन्ति ते मयि भक्तिं लब्धवतः साधोः किमन्यदवशिष्यते मयि अनन्तगुणे ब्रह्मणि आनन्दानुभवात्मने यथोपश्रयमाणस्य भगवन्तं विभावसुं शीतं भयं तमोऽप्येति साधून् संसेवतस्तथा निमज्जोन्मज्जतां घोरे भवाब्धौ परमायनं सन्तो ब्रह्मविदः शान्ताः नौर्दृढेवाप्सुमज्जताम् अन्नं हि प्राणिनां प्राणः आर्तानां शरणं त्वहं धर्मो वित्तं नृणां प्रेत्य सन्तोर्वाग्बिभ्यतोरणं सन्तो दिशन्ति चक्षुंषि बहिरर्कः समुत्थितः देवता बान्धवाः सन्तः सन्त आत्माहमेव च वैतसेनस्ततोऽप्येवम् उर्वश्या लोकनिःस्पृहः मुक्तसङ्गो महीमेताम् आत्मा रामश्चचारः इति श्रीमद्भागवते महापुराणे पारमहंस्यां संहितायाम् एकादशस्कन्धे ऐण उपाख्यानं नाम षड्विंशोऽध्यायः। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम श्रीभागवत शरणं मम श्रीसद्गुरु शरणं मम श्रीसूत शरणं मम श्रीशुकदेव शरणं मम श्रीव्यास शरणं मम श्रीनारद शरणं मम श्रीकुमार शरणं मम श्रीब्रह्मा शरणं मम श्रीविष्णु शरणं मम श्रीपरब्रह्म शरणं मम श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम शरणं मम शरणं मम श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव ॐ मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं स्वर्गे सत्ये च कैलासे वैकुण्ठे नास्ति अयं रसः अतः बन्धु सद्भाग्याः मामुञ्चत कर्हिचित् ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ श्रीकृष्ण परब्रह्मणे नमः। श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराणम् एकादशस्कन्धः मुक्तिरित्वान्यथा रूपं स्वरूपेण व्यवस्थितिः अथ षड्विंशोऽध्यायः। Lord's grace, Guru's Krupa, Bhagavatacharya's Krupa, parents' blessings, some Mahatmas blessed us and Punya Karma done by all of us, that we are not only born as human, but also in India, but also in Sanatana Dharma, and also we have reached to the feet of the Guru. Such a great, grand, glorious blessings, opportunity that is bestowed upon us. We have to really to be grateful to all of them. And the real gratefulness or our thanks to them is only when we really come up to their expectations. Only 3-4 things. One is what? Be alert and aware. Second is what? Be alert and aware about what satsang or shastras we are listening. Third, be alert about the knowledge that is there in that. Fourth, if it is a knowledge to be practiced in action with alertness as much as possible, you do it. If it is a knowledge only to be avoided in that, slowly, steadily try to abide in that knowledge. While doing all that with alertness, one more thing to be done with alertness is how much are our hearts are in tune with the Lord through the great devotion backed with faith. Are we fully having our faithful prayers to Paramatma to help us, guide us to cross the samsara. So when these three, four things are done, one, how we are living our life outside. Second, how our thought flows in the mind. Third, what knowledge of satsanga we are listening. Four, are we implementing anything of that? Five, in the devotional, prayerful mood. Always with faith. This is what we have to do. When this is done consistently over a period of time, each of these things we establish in. Establishing in them itself is realization. That we become fully aware of our world outside, our involvement in the world outside. When we become aware, naturally, we will definitely come out of what is not good. So too, when we become aware of our own inner mind's thoughts, definitely there also, we slowly give up the non-positive thoughts. When a long period of time, we start becoming aware. So to aware fully when we are listening satsang, such a golden thoughts we are given in that when we implement them, whether they are related to dharma, whether they are related to the values, whether they are related to the yoga, whether they are related to karma yoga, whatever, how wonderful, how glorious they are, definitely after some period of time, we'll get tempted to practice them. And as the practice is happening with awareness, we just become a person of all noble qualities. And the prayers are going on. With that regular prayers in Lord, the faith in the Lord becomes so stronger, we start seeing His Krupa everywhere. In His Krupa, listen this thought carefully. In His Krupa, it will be found that easily, effortlessly, Bhagavan, keeping under His own shoulders or the wings like the bird, protecting us all from inner and outer odds, taking us across the ocean of the Samudra of the samsara with with beautiful prayerful faithful mind, we will discover this one day. When that is discovered, the sentence which comes out of our mouth is मुझे किस बात का डर है my lord is taking care of me. देखो, this word comes out of the beautiful inner feeling and experience. It was in my not attuning to him, it was in my not praying to him that I was not discovering his krupa. Now, with little love, devotion, prayer, when I tune to Him, what I find is grace and grace and grace alone. In that grace, we can see He is taking us across. While He takes us across, what He makes the things happen through us are the first is satsanga, second is tattva jnanam, information level, third is the tattva chintanam, the inquiry contemplation of what we gain the jnanam. Then tattva anubhuti. Everywhere that and that alone is there. That moment the tattva anubhuti is gained, we find ourselves have concluded our journey, though it was tough, tedious. And we have crossed this terrible ocean of samsara, terrible jungle of samsara, terrible tufan of samsara, whatever we call. So, what we are doing now is the best. Don't leave it, improve upon it. This much when we do, along with faith, that we are already in the boat, which is being sailed through or which is rowed by this Paramatma. He is the one who is giving us all this. He is the one, even though we don't want or don't know that we should want. He is bent upon guiding us. He is bent upon blessing us. That day when we discover that he, like the child doesn't want to take bath or get beautified. He just want to be like that. Even though he doesn't want, mother gives him bath and all decoration, good dressing done. Then everybody loves that child. That time the child is happy. In the same way, by His grace only we discover that Bhagavan and Guru are following us, chasing us. They are looking for a moment. We are not giving them to kidnap us and take into such a place where they give us bath, remove all our inner impurities, and decorate us, dress us up well, and give us all hrushta prashta khana and make us the most beautiful person in the world. If this is discovered, then our surrender becomes complete and true. In that surrender, the conviction comes, okay, this is what the thing I have to do, this I should not do. And that it happens effortlessly. जिस दिन जो नहीं करना उसको छोड़ना और जो करना उसको करना आसान से होने लगता है. अभी नहीं हो रहा है वो. जो छोड़ना है हम छोड़ नहीं पा रहे, जो करना है कर नहीं पा रहे. दैट डे व्हेन इट स्टार्ट्स हैपनिंग, याद रखना कृपा भरपूर बरस रही. And we are en route to that kripa through these satsangas. In satsanga only this happens. We'll see all that in the subsequent chapter. So, once in a while it is needed to remember that the good thing is happening through us, good thing we are doing. Therefore, we can have our self respect, self congratulation, self esteem, and self inspiration as long as it doesn't become ego. And you and I are such a innocent, stupid fellows that Bhagavan will not allow us to have ego also much. Why? Ego will come only when you succeed. Bhagavan will not give us success easily. He will give us success only at the final point. तब तक हमको घसीट कर जाएंगे, फंसाते जाएंगे, हमको ऐसे ही लेते जाएंगे. It is also His कृपा. Because He doesn't want to take chance with us. कि if something comes to us, we may forget Him. भगवान कहते हैं ना, तेरे को साधना पूरा करा के फाइनल अनुभव दूंगा. बीच में जो भी हो रहा है होने देता हूँ अंदर, बताऊंगा नहीं तुमको. मीन्स थ्रू ऑल दिस सत्संग, so much of prarabdha, so much of sanchita karma, all of that is getting burnt. That we'll not know. See, Guru Kripa, Bhagavad Kripa कैसा होता है ना, कि we were having lot of khasra in the back, in the form of in the form of this sanchita karma, and that it all was cleansed or burnt by Bhagavan or Guru. इनफैक्ट ये भी हमको वो जानने नहीं देते, मतलब बोलते नहीं. That much is their कृपा. Like when you go to somebody's house, much before you go there, they clean it, they make it all wonderful, presentable for you. And you go, sit there, talk to them, eat what they give, enjoy and come. A thought also will not come to us. Then before we went to their house, they spend 1 or 2 days to clean all the dust and everything. पता भी नहीं होता. Just like in our house, whenever whom we love, they come. Before they come, we said the thing. They don't know that. In the same way, Bhagavan and Guru, without even making us know in an anesthesia manner, they take care of all our sanchita. That power is there in them, that power is there in Shastra, that power is there in Satsanga. Believing that we have to offer ourselves to this. This is the minimum thing we should do, which is maximum. The rest is taken care. So, this is all introduction. After our thanks and prayers to all Rishi and Guru and Muni Parampara. Now, after saying so, second is what? Important thing, which we have said few days back earlier also. Any of Viveka or Vairagya or Vicharana or Bhakti or through Yoga Sadhana doing Chitta Vritti Nirodha, even this Seva Karma Yoga, we should never think that they are over or I can stop them. Or once I have done, it is enough. It is repeated, it should be repeatedly done. Anytime we don't do any of this sadhana, from anywhere, any danger will come and take us away. Again, back to the earlier life. Therefore, all the Shravanas, Mananas should go on Nirantara Rupena. After some time, definitely a heaviness or boredom or stagnation comes. For some time, you change your sadhana and come back to this. But remember that till we reach the goal, Charaiveti, Charaiveti, Charaiveti. Stop not till the goal is reached. That consciously we have to be. What troubles us in this regard is the swinging moods of the mind. Because of our inefficiencies, because of our not having full conviction, or because of our own, the prarabdhas, vasanas, the timings around, they create a type of disliking for satsanga or sadhana, a type of heaviness or boredom, or a thought that chalo thoda hum break denge. All of that come because of these reasons. We should not answer them. We should, that is the main test. जब सब ठीक ठाक होता है, आप क्लास में आओगे, पढ़ोगे, साधना इज ब्यूटिफुली हैपनिंग. That's not great. The great thing is when such type of moods come, how much we are able to not allow them or conquer them and stick to our path sadhana. Because those are the dangerous modes. Like when the road is smooth, nothing great in driving. जब मोड होता है ना, वहीं ज़्यादा हमको केयरफुल है. If it is little careless, we are in that mode, we are in the valley. जहाँ जिस नीचे वैली से ऐसे ऐसे करके ऊपर आए, नहीं उसी में गिर जाएंगे. उन मोड़ों में हमको केयरफुल रहना है. मोड़ों में और मूडों में वो आता ही रहता है. And the people who are not fully established in their committed sadhana, though they are innocent, they want to do sadhana. होता नहीं, 2 दिन हुआ, 1 दिन नहीं हुआ, 3 दिन हुआ, 2 दिन नहीं हुआ. See, many of us, good people we are. Simple, honest. We don't cheat people or world. We don't trouble anyone. We are interested in sadhana. We do it also, but in the type of high tides and low tides keep on happening. कभी मूड नहीं हो तो 2 दिन पूजा ही नहीं किया, 3 दिन जप नहीं किया, 2 दिन क्लास नहीं आए और स्वाध्याय नहीं किया. These are the places where we have to protect ourselves and see to it that we are consistent. Yeah. So the three things we are told today are: one is be continuous. We can see how much their grace is taking us across. Second is remember that it has to be done continuously, constantly. Third is the real test challenge is when the swing of the moods happen. पहले तो आने होने नहीं देना जितना अपने हाथ में है. फिर भी वो हो रहा है तो वहाँ कॉन्शियस रहना. Little headache comes, little stomach ache comes. They're only tests. That is the time where we have to do sadhana. In spite of those small little. अब टू मच हेडेक है, टू मच स्टमक एक है, टू मच है तो तब जाके हॉस्पिटल में दाखिल होना. You understand? Not otherwise, because it becomes a trend or a habit. And another reason is what with our food habits, with our sleeping habits, with our all nonsense way of lifestyle, some or the other part of the body or the mind will always have a pain or dukkha. So we are not a sadhu yogi that we have done chitta vritti nirodha or with all pranayama we conquered every limb of the body. कहा क्या अपन कुछ नहीं है. Therefore little एक रोटी ज़्यादा खाया तो भी हेवीनेस होएगा. Is it not? 1 घंटा कम सोया तो फिर दिन भर खराब हो जाता है. एक बंदे से थोड़ा लड़ाई की फिर पूरा दिन टेंशन होता है माइंड में. We are very sensitive people. Indians are very sensitive. Some of them sensible also by mistake. So because of that also, physically, psychologically, the eruptions of the moods come. Especially those who are in grahastha ashram, bechare. You know the children, grandchildren, wife or husband, servants, in-laws, outlaw, friend, कोई ना कोई आकर बार बार कुछ बातें ही रहते कुछ ना कुछ. They poke only. Along with that, all the other things. The बैंक रिलेटेड वर्क, the गवर्नमेंट रिलेटेड वर्क्स. the बारिश होता है तो पानी लीक होता है. थोड़ा सा मिस्टेक किया तो ये वो घर में टूट जाता है. आई एम जस्ट टेलिंग वेरी सिली लुकिंग थिंग्स बट दे आल्सो हैव टू बी टेकन केयर ऑफ. कि विदाउट विथ ऑल दिस वी गेट डिस्टर्ब्ड इन आवर साधना. याद रखो कि वो आते जाते हैं. दैट इज द रियल चैलेंजिंग टाइम where we don't break our continuity. I am talking about continuity non breaking. We are already coming to class. The next step is continuation. That also we have almost come. Even the tests come, we pass. Then we go to the next level of absorbing, imbibing all the beautiful thoughts that is given to us in the satsang by our Guru Parampara. And then live to it, LIVE. Live up to that vana. हो गया जिंदगी बन गया. That's how make the initial effort slowly as a habit, after which it becomes effortless. And enjoy doing also, enjoy reaching or gaining also. So we all be that way blessed by entire Guru Parampara and Paramatma. Now in this 26th chapter, Purura Upakhyanam, we have almost come to the conclusion of the Pratipaksha Bhavana Dosha Drishti towards all that Dussanga, towards which we had the Swapaksha and Guna Drushti earlier, because of which we have become slaves to them, and they started troubling us, cheating us, kicking us, all that. Go Karavat, as it happened to Pururava from that Urvashi. Now there is no more Pururava, Urvashi, हो गया अब अपना जिंदगी. In our life, you have to put it on to our own self. So the Pururavas, the last few thoughts were he was analyzing this Thula Deha and seeing how much it is abominable, then how one can be attached to that. With that, his Pratipaksha Bhavana Dosha Dushti is over. What sadhana is to be done in three shlokas, he is going to say. And in that, the last sentence, which was so, in fact, non listenable, doesn't look at all good, still he spoke it. And without editing it, it is being put in a Bhagavat Purana by Lord Krishna, by Vyasa, by Shukadevji, and about all of them. What is that sentence? Very, very tough it is to digest. What I said is Vinmutra Puye Ramatam Kriminam Kedantaram. What is the difference, greatness, speciality about a person who is indulging in the Deha Tadatmya and to a Kida Makoda which is there in that dirt and filth? When we identify with the body and indulge in the bodily bhoga, especially in the Deha, wherein which is what is said, Tvang Mamsa Rudrasnayu Medo Majjasti Sammatam. If our mind, if our attention, if our interest is only in that type of Kamadi Bhoga, that person is equivalent to that Krimi Kitaka. Now, the specific point about that example is one when that Krimi is there in that Vindmutra Puya. Pita means the fecal matter. Mutra means urine. Puya means all the pus and all the dirty thing that is, including the vomit. The urine, fecal matter and vomit and the pus. In that krimi is there. So the meaning of that is one, outside it all is that only, the dirty matter. Inside also that only. Same way, the one who is indulging in the Deha outside his thoughts, his actions, indulgences are in that only. Inside his mind also, always entertaining those dirty, fleshy thoughts only. Such person and that krimi are no difference. Why? Because that krimi, it is not thinking about neatness or cleanliness or any of the higher pursuit of the life. बस उसको उसी में रमना है. यार इतना गंदा है तुम यहाँ हो जाके इट इज इन बेटर वाटर यू स्टे ही सेज नो आई एम ओके इन दिस सेम इज द केस ऑफ ए पर्सन हु मैनर मैन indulges in this deha tadatmya yukta bhoga. Unless in this way we think no that hatred or that what I say the feeling of detachment etc from the bhoga vastus will not come to us. कम वाट में बिकॉज जैसे आप कोई भी युद्ध में देखते हैं श्री लक्ष्मण और इंद्रजित और राम एंड रावण सो रावण जितना पावरफुल एरो ही यूजेस equally powerful the Lord Rama also should use, then only you can neutralize it. The Kama Bhoga throw such a powerful arrow the Kamadeva. And I go Vishnu Kamadeva, Kamapala. That Kamadeva, he throws the arrow so powerfully that we cannot escape. वो क्या है ना, वो उसका टारगेट भी मिस नहीं होता और इतना चुभता है वो. You know that ordinarily seen, we appear to be wise, we appear to be disciplined, we appear to be doing all our sadhanas. Suddenly, when that arrow hits, it is so painful that unless one indulges in that, he doesn't feel comforted. And this is the fall, which strengthens the Dehadi Tadatmya. So, therefore, to combat that powerful arrows of the Kamana, we should have that powerful arrow from our side, Kavacha from our side. That is, these are the thoughts. Again and again telling, if I involve in the Deha Sambandha Bhoga, there is no difference between me and the Krimi in the Vindmutra Puya. Means from that Krimi, how many thousands and thousands and thousands of lives of evolution I become human now. Having come to human life, which is the gateway of our moksha, if I go back again into that Krimi sthiti only, then what I have done so far, what I am doing to myself now. And in this thought, the hint given is what? If that way continue to live in Dehadi Tadatmyam, Bhagavan will correct his mistake. That he says, you are only living at the Deha level. Why do you need a human body? Unnecessarily, all the worries thinking. Better you enjoy it fully. Go and become that Kido Makauda in that filth and dirt and urine and that fecal matter. Jao there. He will send us there. Do we want to go? Is it not in a ekanta? As much we have to do the devotion at the feet of Lord with all devotion, with all faith, as much in the ekanta, we have to do the chintana of the tattva. So much in the ekanta, we have to think about this also. Okay, should I go back to that level of krimi kitaka? Then I don't want. But what you are doing, what you are involving, what your thoughts of the mind, what your plans, what your actions, all of them are being noted by the Lord. They all will prompt Him to put us there. देखो ये वाला जब तक डर नहीं होता ना भय, तब तक हम ना in our own delusion. We just keep on doing the worst things of life. One of the most important thing life is the डर of falling. जब नहीं होता डर भय नीचे गिरने का, तो वो जो गिरावट वाला, तो हम गड़बड़ करते ही जाते हैं in our life. Feel always. Look at all the krimi kitaka pashu pakshi. In them the jiva is there, the struggling themselves to come to human life, so that they can through satsang and all realize their own inner conscious self. I am so well placed than them, better placed. How can I go back to their level when they are trying to come to my level? There is an honest person and a corrupt in the office. The corrupt fellow should look at the honest and he should give up his corruption. No, not the other way around. कि मैं तो honest हूँ but I am not getting money. That fellow has become so moneyed because corruption मैं भी वो करूँगा. You may do, you may get money. That's all external. But internally we are fallen, no? ये वाला आजकल कहीं बता नहीं रहे, कहीं सुनने को कम मिल रहा है, कोई अपने दिल पे ले नहीं रहे इस बात को. Everybody become rough and tough and rash and careless. जो होगा देखा जाएगा, like that, indulging only. यार दो होगा जो होगा देखा जाएगा. हाँ, to whom you are saying? There's nobody who is going to feel bad for your nonsense life. It is you who are going to fall down and regret. It's not a challenge put by somebody. It is not that for somebody's sake we are evolving. It is me, for my own sake, I am evolving. I must evolve. This way, when we keep on thinking, then only there is chance slowly to reduce all our wastage of time and energy in the indulgence of all deha related bhoga. Here, not only this three purusha, the thing talked about, which is mainly, other than that, any which is matter related involvement. Yeah? Dravya, because every matter dravya is ultimately dirty, filthy matter only. Anything dravyatmaka jivana is like a krimi kitaka jivana only. Any kama and artha is like krimi kitaka. Only when we fully follow dharma, when the dharma is done, the spare time, when we are using it for moksha, that we are human being. As our dharma is getting concluded, taking moksha sadhana only as the dharma is the ultimate step. And having realized self, our presence is used by the Lord for the sake of the world to guide, to say that Dekho, I was also like you, but struggled and came to this state, you also can. Like what Gurudev teaches us. I have done it. I went to my Guru. I surrendered to him. I heard from him. I did my meditation. I knew the truth. And now I'm liberated. I'm giving same guidance to you. You also can. That way afterwards. But before that, knowing the truth. Before that, doing dharma. Then, lesser than that, we should not even think about it, dream about it. That is the standard when we start maintaining. We have become matured. Otherwise, immaturity only. Immaturity in life is what? Taking life lightly, not sincerely, not using the life opportunity for growth evolution. That's called immaturity. Many do that like that. We've also done like that only so far. Now let us change. So, Tang Mamsa Rudira Snayu Mejo Majjasti Sankul Sang Mejo Majjasti Samhatau Vinmutra Poye Ramatam Krimrinam Kredantaram. So, Tam Mamsa Rudira Snayu Medo Majjasti Samhatau Ramatam Manushye Vinmutra Poye Ramatam Kriminam Kivedantaram. That's the meaning. The human beings involving in this Stula Deha, which has got these seven contents. One side. The creamy, which is involving in the Vindmutra Puya, there's no difference. Because the Vindmutra Puya alone is there in the entire body. बॉडी में वही है वो तो बताया ना ऊपर तंग मांस है रुधिरा स्नायु मेदो मज्जा अस्ति then two more purnam mutra purishabhyam sthulam nindyamidam vapuh is said by Shankara Bhagavan in Vivek Chudamani to complete it without any doubt. At a higher level of understanding, looking at the body and its matterness, its dravyaness, its tamoguna, it's pulling us down, its demands. The साधका योगी तो कहता है भगवान से भगवान इवन ए ह्यूमन देह भी नहीं चाहिए मुझे आई वांट टू रीच यू then to him, to such person, Bhagavan gives the Sukshma Kanti Deha or Divya Sharira, where they will be in this Maharloka, Janoloka, Tapoloka. To them, this body, Saiva to the body, attractions the body, laziness of the body, old age, death, ये कुछ नहीं होता उनको. But they are also individuals. They also their identity. They are also on the path of evolution. But this obstruction is no more there to them. They crossed it. Because should we not go there? Or should we go into this विनमूत्र पूया? अपनी मर्जी है भाई जिंदगी अपनी है बाद में कोई जवाबदार नहीं होगा याद रखना कोई पूछने वाला नहीं कोई जवाब सुनने वाला नहीं that is what when we are pulled into this Naraka Adi Loka with all our papa done and nobody is there to listen to our prayers and those नरक में दुख को देने वाले जो राक्ष जो भी है यमदूत that so trained is rough and tough like the talari like the hangman क्या कहते हैं हिंदी में जो हैंग करता है ना फांसी का सजा देते हैं ना like that they will be rough and tough they will not do any emotion nobody will be there to listen to our dukkha to help us बद्वागले यमटा बहुभर्षयन्ति कर्षन्ति यत्र पतिपाश शतैर्माम एकाकिनं परवशं चकितं दयालो लक्ष्मी नृसिंह मम देहि करावलंब. This is what. Okay. Now the sadhanas. Two sadhanas will be told by Pururava, direct, simple. We have studied it in some other places definitely. But after that, Bhagavan Krishna's beautiful, the concluding summary as if of a entire Gyarava Skandha, what to do. Before that, what Pururava said as sadhana, listen. Not tough, not difficult, not impossible, but we have to just as we were said day before yesterday also, not yesterday, it should click to us, that sadhana. Pehle, which part should click to us is, I am a sadhaka, I want to come out of all these attachments, all these indulgences, all these slaveries, all these pulls down to the again lower life. I want to come out of that. पहले वो बना कि नहीं बात दिल में देखो, then only the sadhana will be useful. Like I want to control my BP sugar, then only all the rules regulations told by the doctor मैं जान मांग मांग कर पूछ पूछ कर उसे जानता हूँ और केयरफुली वो प्रैक्टिस करता हूँ. There are two types of people in the world. They got BP sugar and so irregular they maintained them. They went on suffering for whatever 20, 30 years. They lived with BP and sugar with ups and downs. They never were regular, disciplined. But there are also other people, the moment they notice they have come, quickly they decided to come out of that. Then whatever the doctor says, they did it. They stopped all this to be stopped. They started doing whatever they were told. Then they maintained that only and lived for 40, 50, 60 years also. Why? In the first person, there was no commitment that I want to be healthy. His commitment was, I want to be bhogi. He valued bhoga more than the health. But the second person valued the health more than the bhoga. Therefore, you could keep up the bhoga away and maintain the health. If he also had done like the first person, he would have also long back got the attack of this. He would have died only. In our life also, all the medication of sadhana will be functional when I am wanting to be healthy first. First big question I ask you and me. Do you want to come out of all the Urvashis and all the Punchalis in your life? And what is Urvashi Punchali? Anything and everything other than Bhagavan. Our definition is standard. It can be watching TV, it can be extra sleep, it can be just going outside to waste your time in looking here and there. All of that is Punchali only. Then the main ones Pancha Indriya, slavery, and then this Kamana as Pururava. देखो, you want or not to get rid of them, I want to continue. Want to continue, then you can get out of the class, don't listen. Listen what you will not practice. But then, no, 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 I am committed, sir. Then this is that solution. It's a disrespect to a doctor. We visit him and we get all the prescription, and if you don't use and get healthy, अच्छा नहीं लगता doc. He doesn't like. So too, coming to Shastra or the Guru and studying from them, and then if we don't help ourselves by changing ourselves, it doesn't make them happy. See? Let us make them also happy, at least for their sake and our sake. Now sadhana. Athapi nopasajjeta strishu straineshu charthavito vishayendriya samyogat manah kshubhyati nanyatha athapi nopasajjeta strishu straineshu charthavito vishayendriya samyogat Manah kshubhyati nanyatha. Be careful. Be attentive. This thought is exactly similar like but opposite sadhana to what we are studying in the morning in our Taittiriya Upanishad. What is the topic? Daily we are studying Taittiriya from last 35, 40 days. Only one thing. What is that? Upasana, upasana, upasana. Is it not? Upa-asana. आगे जाके बैठना उपासना नजदीक 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 exactly opposite of that is the sadhana. What is that? There is upasana is equal to upasajjeta. Here na upasana. On the base of these two shloka only Bhagavan develops his thought. Upasana there we have to do whatever we studied in the Upanishad. Here we should not do the upasana. That is the only sadhana. न उपसज्जेत अथापि न उपसज्जेत स्त्रीषु स्त्रैणेषु च अर्थवित्. इतना ही है, उपासना मत करो. And in that, take the help of Gita, कि तस्मात् त्वम् इंद्रियाणि आदौ नियम्य. Again I am repeating, तस्मात् त्वम् इंद्रियाणि आदौ नियम्य. Then only, हे भरतर्षभ, पाप्मानं प्रजहीयेनं ज्ञान विज्ञान नाशनम निशत्रुम. The name of that Shatru is Kama Krodha. In Gita, what is said? In the third chapter, last but three sloka. तस्मात् त्वम् इंद्रियाण्यादौ नियम्य भरतर्षभ पाप्मानं प्रजह्येनं ज्ञान विज्ञान नाशनम. So now उपसज्जेत. It is, now we spoke it in different way, in different context में. Here क्या है ना कि don't give chance, don't take a chance. Now उपसज्जेत. For any reason, don't go near. This much if you do, you are saved. Towards whom? Strishu, Straineshu cha. Strishu, to the women, Straineshu, those who are the infatuated by the woman. Because those people again misguide us. Towards both of them, don't go near them. Who should do this? Who can do this? Arthavitu. Underline this word. We'll explain this little. Arthavis means Paramarthavit. Paramarthamit means the one who understood that he was caught up in his giving enslavement, his life is being wasted. No, he wants to achieve the higher Purushartha, that Arthavita. What he should do? Now Upasajjeta. Don't go near. Why is it so? How it works? What way it works? What wonder it works? In the second line, such a beautiful thing it is. And this is called as grace of Paramatma. This is called as in the Paramatma Srishti. This is the way out given of this terrible jungle of samsara. है ना, कोई सब जंगल में फंसे हैं, अब बाहर का रास्ता निकला मानो रास्ता है, निकल गए. Or any river flood, we are getting flooded, but somehow something came to our hand, we held it and we came out. बढ़िया है कि नहीं? ये वाला जो है भगवान ने ये फैसिलिटी दे दिया, इसका हमें यूज करना है. And focus the whole life on this. What is that? He says, Vishaya Indriya Samyogat Manaha Kshubhyati Na Anyatha. The Kshobha in the mana, starting from the Sankalpa, then slowly it is becoming desire, then it becomes Trishna, then it will never allow us to stay stable and pushes us to do any type of worst thing till we get destroyed. All that is called as Manahak Shobha. This entire starting से हमको नाश करने तक डिजायर का अलग अलग रूप जो होता है, that is the Kshobha of the Mana. That Kshobha of the Mana, why it happens, how it will not happen, if this much we can catch it, we are saved. What is that? Vishaya Indriya Samyogat Manaha Kshubhyati. Means what? When our Indriyas are coming in Samyoga, contact with Vishayas, then only Mana becomes Kshobhita. More important than this is Na Anyatha. Means what? Not otherwise. That is why the earlier one, ki na upasajjeta strishu. Upa means samipa. Sajjeta means reaching to them through any of the indriyas. Here strishu, straineshu and all of that. Vishaya indriya samyogat manak shubhyati nanyatha. Please, this is $1 million thought. Looks to be simple, but the solution and the only solution. Chant it 6 times. Vishaya indriya sanyogat मनः क्षुभ्यति नान्यथा. सब लोग मन में या जोर से बोलो, ऑन मत करना. जैसे विषयेंद्रिय संयोगाद मनः क्षुभ्यति नान्यथा. 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 How important this! Only when the indriyas have come in contact with the objects, Then only the kshoba of the desire at all levels, as we said just now, happens in the mind, not otherwise. It's like any example, like some person you hate. It is there, okay, but that person is in front, seen by your eyes. Immediately the kshoba happens in the mind or not. Is it not? Somebody cheated us. उसको आगे देखते ही हमको गुस्सा आता है. Just like these negative emotions erupt in the presence of those things or beings, so too these kama adi vikara come in the mind only when we are in the presence of Vishyas through our indriyas. This is not important thought. Second is important. Na anyatha means what? When we have not gone there, will not allow our indriyas to expose to them, then the manakshobha will not happen. In fact, when it is maintained for long period of time, non-contact of the object with the senses, we can see that they go away from our own mind and life. That is what in English that's called as out of sight, out of mind. अरे यार, साइट में नहीं है तो भगवान ही हमारे माइंड से निकल जाते हैं, फिर हैवान और शैतान क्यों नहीं जाएगा? Out of sight, out of mind. But if it is in the sight, it can never go out of the mind. Never go out of the mind, and it becomes so much stronger day by day. This was in Gita again, second chapter, 55th sloka. Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehinaha. Same thing, $1,000,000 sloka, what is said by their Lord Krishna here also through Pururava's mouth we are listening. Vishayaha vinivartante niraharasya dehinaha. The one who stops involving in them, stops not going near them, slowly they go away from our vicinity. इंद्रियों के द्वारा उनका संपर्क में आना बंद करोगे तो मन से भी वो चला जाएगा, क्योंकि वो मन में आता है थ्रू इंद्रिय ओनली. विषयेन्द्रिय संयोगात् मनः क्षुभ्यते नान्यथा, therefore न उपसज्जेत. Never allow them to come to near to you, nor you go. And that kurma example, kurmongani va sarvashah, all that now they come into obligation. I need not tell you, understand. The moment we sense such type of thing or being around, immediately withdraw from that and go to a safe, secured zone. This is the facility. If you keep away your senses from the objects, the mana will not become kshobhita. I hope you are catching the power of this sadhana. Equally is when this is not done, from the mana, the kshobha, means the desire, can never go away. And that's why in our life, so many things, when by some reason were kept away, they themselves went away, or we only kept them away. We can see slowly, slowly from the mind all that going away. Maintain that again, don't give a chance. Keep away means keep away throughout the life. This is what I was talking 7 8 days back in different class and different context too. Key when all eatables we bring and keep in the house, then we become so sympathetic toward them. यार खराब हो रहे, सड़ जा रहे, पैसे ले आके खरीद के पैसे देकर खरीदा, देखो हम खाएंगे. Imagine if they are not at all there in the room. Even if the desire comes, it will be removed because it is not there. Slowly, because the thing is not there, desire only will not come. Like in the mango season, 10 किलो मैंगो लगाया तो हर दिन खाने को मन होता ही है. But in the rainy and other season, not even mango का thought भी नहीं आता मन में. Why? Because it is not there. Not only there, not in your room, nowhere in the market also. Remember, in the market, not even one mango. Therefore, in the minds of the all human beings, there is no mango at all. Because उस विषय का इंद्रियों से संयोग नहीं हुआ. The moment the season comes, it starts, the publicity हो गया, सबके आंखों के सामने आम, फिर वो आम आंख के द्वारा मन में. Understood? Is it not? We never knew that there is a theater, there is a movie. I'm talking about 50 years back thing. We are going to somewhere, suddenly you saw the poster. देखते ही फिर मन में, अरे थिएटर है, सिनेमा है, आज ही आखिरी दिन है, जरूर जाना. All that was not there before the poster was seen. The moment it was seen, then coming, crying, doing blackmail, etc., mother, father, somehow take money from them and go and watch. विषयेन्द्र संयोगात् मनः क्षुभ्यते, विषयेन्द्र संयोगात् मनः क्षुभ्यते, विषयेन्द्र संयोगात् मनः क्षुभ्यते, न अन्यथा, न अन्यथा, न अन्यथा. This is the way, and this is the only way we can protect. उस गली में जाना ही नहीं है, याद रखना इस बात को. अदरवाइज विषयेन्द्र समय हो गया, you will not notice that in the mind उसका impression हो गया. At what time in the weak moment that mind attacks, we don't know. And one point, other than this, there is no way. Being in contact with the senses, that's what you said, no? विषयः विद्वांसमपि कर्षति, बलवान इंद्रिय ग्रामः विद्वांसमपि कर्षति. इस भागवत में ही we have studied this some 10-15 chapters before. Some of the topic में बलवान इंद्रिय ग्रामः विद्वांसमपि कर्षति. Such a great jnani is yogis. Whoever example you take, that are Mitra or Varuna or Vishwamitra, there are terrible, powerful yogi sadhakas there, till the object came in front of their eyes. Once that came, then all their power, strength became weak, because that is the power of sense objects. इसलिए अपने इंद्रियों को उसका जाना ही मत देना. In other words, they were what to do with all the indriyas, always involved in Bhagwan. थक गए तो सो जाओ, मर जाओ. That is better than इधर उधर जाओ. भगवान का साधना सेवा करते हुए इंद्रिय मन से, it is better to die rather than because of some heaviness or boredom, let me have some time pass करके going for something. And one more relevant thing to us, so many classes still we are having, still why the thought is not powerful sadhana, because between the classes our minds are going to some vishayas, or indriyas are going to the vishayas, they are entering into the mind, they are acting like the duster on the whiteboard where the teacher has written all the mathematical formula, wiped out. Whatever is written by the guru in the class is wiped out by the duster of whatever the indriyas we are using to see the indriya vastus. अब imagine करो, at least from now, for 6 months, 1 year, that we are not allowing the indriyas to come in contact with Vishaya, and whatever we are studying in class, that alone we are doing as homework. It is not easy, it is tough. I am telling hypothetically, imagine what would be our state of mind after 6 to 8 months. How evolved it would be, how convinced it would be with all the clarity of what is the goal and what is means. And in that day's time, if 2-3 hours are spent in meditation, how deep we become in our understanding meditation. That will be the effect within 6 months or 1 year. But if it is not done, whatever इंद्रियास we involve in the objects, जो कुछ भी सीखा समझा कुछ किया वो सब पे पानी फिर जाएगा. All that will be wasted only. विषयेंद्रिय संयोगात मनः क्षुभ्यति. विषयेंद्रिय संयोग नहीं है तो न क्षुभ्यति न अन्यथा. So many things are in the world. We don't have desire of them because we have not even seen them. And whatever we have seen, that is the only thing which is troubling us. विषयों का इंद्रियों से संयोग होने नहीं देना. That's why going to the ashramas, going to jungle, where chance is not given. And we, without even little viveka vairagya, staying in the all comfort zone of the world with all bhoga vastu around, we think we can do sadhana. Jhoot hai, we are cheating ourselves. If one day it is not realized and everything giving up and we don't do sadhana, we are more murakha than the people who are indulging in the world. They are better. At least they are not cheating themselves. They are convinced about the bhoga of the vastus. They are earning, they are enjoying. They are better than us who have studied Shastra, still not reaching to the goal because of these involvements through senses in the object, after which the mind's kshobha. So this Vishayendra Samyoga Manakshubhedinanyatha, this you have to relate to. The first, you कहते हैं ना हिंदी में इंग्लिश में love at first sight. When Urvashi came and he looked at her, she looked at him, इंद्रिय विषय संयोग हो गया, मन में क्षोभ start हो गया. Then it brought to what level? This level. Now what happened? That Vishaya called Urashi went away. Therefore the Kshobha reduced. Then the Dimag started working. Then he became such a Vairagi. Then again another Urashi comes. Again Vishayendra Samya ho gaya. Again Kshobha will happen. But that's the difference between the millions of people in the world who were kicked by Urvashi and the Pururava. The greatness of Pururava is never involved in another Urvashi. That is the main point of this story. In other lives, our lives, one Urashi gone, and we go to other. We allow every useless thing and being to create Shobha in our mind. Why is it happen? Because he learned this lesson. That if I come in contact with the objects through senses, I cannot avoid they creating Shobha. Therefore, it is better to nip at the bud level, or it is prevention is better than cure. I will not allow. So throughout life, you can imagine that he must have not allowed anybody to come near his vicinity, nor he went. And what did he do? It will be told after two shlokas and toward the end also of the chapter. And tomorrow, day after again, same Pururava story will study in Valmiki Ramayana also. सेम स्टोरी इट विल कम. थोड़ा वो मतलब इसमें जो नहीं है वो वाला आएगा. स्टोरी तो इन्हीं का है. सो भागवतम देर, भागवतम हियर, रामायण. 3 बार भगवान हमको पढ़ा रहे सेम कहानी. दिस इज द केयर इफ यू कैन टेक. इज इट नॉट? You know that all the BP causing eatables you keep around, you feel like eating. Temptation hota hai. Then the health is spoiled. There sharira shubhyati. At the physical level, the diseases are caused only because things are around. घर में टीवी है तो देखने को मन होता है, तोड़ के फेंक देना बाहर बस. नहीं तो अपने चेहरा देखकर कंगी करना बस लाइक ए मिरर. और दम है तो बड़ी आशा स्पिरिचुअल प्रोग्राम से उसको ही देखना. Now I am pausing here for all of us to catch the essence of it. It is only Indriya Vishaya Samyoga which does the Kshobha of desires in the mana, after which we become slave to it. If Vishaya Indriya Samyoga cut diya, no Kshobha in the mind. So na anyata. The same thing now is explaining. Little more detail. In the next sloka, what he says, adrushtat ashrutat bhavat na bhava upajayate asamprayunjatah pranano shamyati stimitam manah. Adrushtat ashrutat bhavat na bhava upajayate asamprayunjatah pranano shamyati stimitam manah. आहा, क्या बढ़िया है. More than explaining, this sloka is more joyful when we feel it inside. Adrushtat ashrutat bhavat na bhavaha upajayate. Here first bhava means the objects of the world. Second bhava is the desire in the mind. So adrushtat ashrutat bhavat. If from with the eyes and with the ears, if we don't see or listen about the bhava or the objects of the world, the bhava, the desire in the mind, na upajayate, is never born. हम ये आंख कान से देखते सुनते इसीलिए तो सारे कामने अंदर आ जाते. न भाव उपजायते. If you don't see, if you don't listen, and we are lavishly allowing our eyes and ears by choice only to such an amount of worst things of the world. Imagine that how many bhavas in the mind. How will you stop them not happening? वो बनेंगे ही भावना है. When you go to supermarket, so many things they are there. You get tempted only. मैं तो डरता ही हूँ, कोई भी जब भी ज़रूरत है ना, किसी को बोलता हूँ, भाई ला लेना। व्हेन यू गो देयर, लुक, इट्स अ ह्यूज थिंग। Not that we get tempted and buy, but the look itself creates some desire in the mind, no? Some type of importance for that. And that importance is justified by need. Then we go for it. मैं बताऊं ना, in today's world, so much of bhoga vastus are presented everywhere. मैं बताऊं, ये तो एक्चुअली तो बताने के लिए हिम्मत चाहिए मुझे। पहले मुझे कर कर आपको बोलना चाहिए। ऐसे दुनिया में जाना है तो ना, पहले आँख को फोड़कर कान में खौलता हुआ वो गिलास का होता है ना, लिक्विड डालकर फिर दुनिया में जाना चाहिए। आँखों को फोड़कर कान में गरम-गरम को तेल डालकर, इसके बाद क्या होगा? ना देखने को आँख, ना सुनने को कान। तभी आप दुनिया में जा सकते हैं, तभी बचेंगे। That much the world has become full of the bhoga, bhoga, bhoga everywhere. खोल के आँख देखो, कुछ न कुछ दिख रहा है, जिसके ऊपर बाद में मन में डिजायर। सी यू गो टू दैट एयरपोर्ट, व्हेन यू गोइंग टू योर बोर्डिंग प्लेस, एन रूट, खब्बे सज्जे, क्या क्या दुकानें वहां रहते हैं। सो टू इन बिटवीन योर ऑफिस एंड होम, बोथ द साइड्स, व्हाट डू सी इज नथिंग बट भोग वस्तु। Anywhere you go, what you are seeing, that all only. The world of consumerism now, only consumption, only consumption. भोग भूमि भौतिकवाद, जाना ही नहीं चाहिए। जाओ तो आँख कान बंद। मैं तो कहता हूँ, ये नाक बंद करते हैं कोरोना से, और आँख कान बंद करो तो नहीं कोरोना होगा। नहीं तो करना पड़ता है, डिज़ायर आएँगे तो। तो ईयर, आईज़ दोनों भी बंद करके जाना। अदरवाइज़ अदृष्टात् अश्रुतात् भावात् न भावः उपजायते, देयरफॉर दृष्टात् श्रुतात् भावात् भावः उपजायते। And the mind being so sensitive and it is very intelligent, slowly any of the logic it brings to see that we indulge in that. It uses. ये दोनों बात कहती है। हम 2 घंटे से सत्संग सुन रहे हो ना, हाँ, फिर उसके बाद 2 घंटे सुनोगे ना, हाँ, बीच में 10 ही मिनट तो है ना, कॉफी पी लो, चाय पी लो, ये करो। दिस कनिंग फेलो, यू नो। और 10 मिनट के लिए मांगेगा, फिर देखते तो 20 मिनट होता है। एंड देन वी बिकम स्लेव टू दैट, वी डोंट इवन नो। एंड वो ऐसे हाथ लगा के मुंह पे हंसता है मन, देखो गधे को उल्लू बनाया। गधा कैसे? बिकॉज गो खरावत। ऑलरेडी वी हैव चैंटेड इन द चैप्टर, उल्लू बनाया बिकॉज इट टेम्प्टेड अस। 10 ही मिनट है ना, एंड देन इट बिकम्स हैबिट। इंटरेस्टिंग, it doesn't take much time for becoming it a habit. That ruthless we have to be. नहीं सुनूंगा, नहीं देखूंगा, बस अब देख ली, सुन ली, नाश हो गया। लाइक दैट ना, विषम निहंति भोक्तारम द्रष्टारम चक्षुषापि अयम, we have already spoken. The poison of the Vishyas is dangerous than the black cobra poison, because that only when you consume it die. ये तो आंखों से देखो, नाश हो गया। No, those days of the non-presence of such one bhoga, at that time itself they were so careful. How much careful we have to be in today's world if we want to do sadhana. It is all for only sadhaka, huh? Not for a bhogi samsari. उनके लिए तो नमस्कार, जाओ भैया आपकी जीवन। जो उनको, जिनको उर्वशी की तरह, उर्वरवा की तरह उर्वशी के क्लचेस में नहीं आना है, मन को भगवान में लगाना है, फॉर दोज पीपल ऑल दिस इज वैलिड। ऑल मेडिकेशन इज वैलिड फॉर द वन हु वांट टू बिकम हेल्दी। नहीं ऐसे ही मरूंगा करो तो उसके लिए मेडिसिन की क्या जरूरत? डू अंडरस्टैंड इट? इफ वी रियली वांट टू बी दैट वे हेल्दी, don't want the mind to have the first kshobha, then the kshobha becoming desire, then somehow procuring the desirable object, indulging in that, becoming so slave to that, and one day she kicks and goes, then nagna unmattavat running behind her, jaye ghore tishta, and go kharavat, she was kicking like a donkey, and then like a blade of grass, whatever you talk, whatever the money you show, anything you tell her, she says you are tinke bhar ke मैं चली। That time देखो दिक्षोभ. विषयेन्द्रिय संयोगात मन क्षुभ्यति नान्यथा. In the same way, adrushtat ashrutat bhavat na bhava upajayate. This is the facility भगवान gave. तो उस तरफ जाएगा नहीं तो तुम्हारे मन में कामना नहीं आएगा. And not only that, when we stop listening or hearing or looking at adrushtat ashrutat bhavat na upajayate, third one also we have to do asamprayunjatah pranan. When the indriyas also are contained or restrained from indulgence. When these three are done, क्या होगा? First, manah stimitam. Second, manah shamyati. First, the mind becomes stimita, quiet, undisturbed, unagitated. That stimita mana, when you use for adhyatmic sadhana, meditation, yoga, then shamyati, mind gets dissolved in the revelation of the experience of the self. Actually, what is there is Paramatma only. When that knowledge is gained, nothing in the world to bind. Because other than Paramatma is nothing. But when it is not known that Paramatma, that means we are in that stage only of not knowing Paramatma. What functions is Maya. The Maya works in our life as the mind. The mind becomes very vulnerable when it is allowed to leak through the senses of Karmendriya, Jnanendriya. Here the Jnanendriya is Adrushta Ashruta. Karmendriya is Asamprayunjata Pranan. Pranan Asamprayunjata means what? Not actually indulging in them. When these three are avoided, Manahastimitam, mind becomes stabilized. Shamyati, slowly from that mind, that desire gets away totally. And if that mind is engaged in Paramatma, in the experience of Paramatma, in fact, except the functional mana, the projection, projecting, imagining mana gets dissolved only fully. The functional mana will be there for a Brahmagnani to do whatever the seva it has to do. उनके द्वारा जो होना है. Otherwise, there is no projecting imagining mana. That's called manashamyati. No, I am telling it very quickly, but this is the entire sadhana. Manah stimitam bhavati, manah shamyati, asambrayinjata pranan, adrushtad ashrutad bhavaha, na bhavaha upajayate. On the other hand, if we take it for granted, and we did it so in so many lives this life, how many vasanas, how many desires in the mind. How तो ध्यान में बैठो तो वही तो आ रहे, पूजा में बैठो तो वही आ रहे, मन भर में वही है. Don't you want to have the manashanti? Shamyati means shamasya bhava shanti. Stimitam shamyati. Finally, free from all the tensions, worries, anxieties. See, what we have to know, two, three things are, as I said just now, introduce the topic, which we'll talk little more tomorrow definitely. It's all delusory world. It's all delusory mind. If the world is there for us only to do sadhana and seva, all other way of looking at the world, involving in the world, is only delusion. That happens because one thing, we don't know everything is Paramatma. Second is what? We listen to those stupid, useless fellows, rascals, who teach us about the world as a bhogavastu. In fact, we should not blame them as they are that natured. We have to use those abuses for us only, that we give chance to them. Andhenaiva niyamana yatanda. That's why the conclusion he will say, Tasmat sango na kartavyaha strishu strainyeshva indriyahi. देखो ये बात 3 बार आए कि नहीं. In the shloka 24 he said, in the shloka 22 he said, same thing he said in one of the earlier places also, same thing. Mhm. 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 So, giving our ears and eyes to those people who spoil our mind through them is the biggest mistake we do. This is the only thing where we can protect ourselves. Therefore, what is the sadhana? Knowing the grace of Paramatma and developing the trick to use that grace of Paramatma. The grace of Paramatma is what? विषय इंद्रिय संयोगात् मनः क्षुभ्यति न अन्यथा. So too adrushtat ashrutat bhavat naupajayate bhavah. And even little bhava comes asamranjatah pranan. When the pranas are not used there means involvement actually. Then manah samyati stimitam. See, आंखों से कान से नहीं सुना तो आएगा ही नहीं कामना. अगर आ भी गया बिकॉज ऑफ द अर्लियर डिजायर, इंद्रियों के द्वारा इंडल्ज होना रोक दो, फिर मन शांत होएगा. देन मन फर्स्ट स्थिमित देन शाम्यति. In this, what the positive point we have to carry is that we need not be always victim of the mana and desire. It is not necessary. There's a way out. There is a definitely a state can be reached of a mind being free from all of that. पहले उसको हम समझें, उसको हम एक्सेप्ट करें, ये संभव है. संभव करना है, करने के लिए साधन है. Sometimes what happens to us, it's impossible Swami without desires. I know there's so many. हमको ये impossibility, इसको कहते हैं असंभावना. That असंभावना should be replaced by संभावना. Because भगवान said मन स्थिमितम शाम्यति. भगवान ने कह दिया ना, भगवान ने पुरूरव जी ने, तो इनको हुआ वो. His mind becomes स्थिमित and शाम्य. So if it has happened to him from such a terrible situation, to us also it will happen. First, accept the possibility that the mind can be free from desires. Mind can be freed from the agitations and disturbances created because of the desires. Mind can be fully available to us in our control. That controlled mind can be engaged in Paramatma sadhana. In the experience of Paramatma, one can transcend the mind. This is the thing which we have to powerfully keep in our heart. In the sadhana इतना ही है, अदृष्ट श्रुत भाव से भाव उत्पन्न नहीं होगा, इसलिए विषय इंद्रिय संयोग को करना ही नहीं चाहिए. That is why अथापि न उपसज्जेत स्त्रीषु शयनेषु च अर्थवितु. विषय इंद्रिय संयोग. Same thing, let us do this last श्लोक also. तस्मात् संगो न कर्तव्यः स्त्रीषु स्त्रैणेषु च इंद्रियैः. इंद्रियों के द्वारा स्त्री और स्त्री लंपट पुरुष, both of them, for both of them, न कर्तव्य संगः. सो कर्तव्य है ये संग नहीं करने का. टेक इट एज ए ड्यूटी नॉट टू हैव द संग. अर्लियर वी टुक इट एज ए ड्यूटी टू हैव संग, destroyed ourselves. Now it's a duty not to have संग. Now the last thought of Pururava in his entire discourse, about which few minutes more we'll discuss tomorrow, then take up Bhagavan's guidance of satsang. The last thought he says is what? Ki Vishuddhasham chapi avisrabdaha shadvargaha kimu madrusham. This is what, without seeing this line, 6-7 minutes back we spoke. To a great Vidwan also, these 6 indriyas, 5 indriyas and mana, can never be trusted. A Vidwan and Jnani also cannot trust these 6 indriyas. Trusting means taking them for ride or taking them for granted. Kimu Madrusham, what to talk about me? He is talking about himself. हम जैसे लोग अब क्या बताएं? विद्वान लोग ही इन 6 इंद्रियों को भरोसा नहीं रख सकते. इन अदर वर्ड्स, भरोसा किया तो पूरा सत्यानाश हो जाएगा. That is what is the power. So how we have to be conscious and careful. It's a big story, is simple, but it's a big lesson in that for the lives to come, so that in any life from now onwards, our attention is only on knowing the truth. उसको और किसी में नहीं फंसना. किसी में कभी भी कहीं नहीं फंसना. मर जाएंगे लेकिन फंसेंगे नहीं. Let Lord give any of the tests any time. We will not be allowing ourselves to get destroyed. Now in this, again, if I don't say this thought, the topic will not be complete, which we said yesterday, day before also. Along with the outer Vishayas, the inner Vishayas in the mind also, we have to mind and slowly devalue them. They are mutual. If you see the world outside, then the desires are created in the mind. So too, if in the mind we entertain, then we will be pushed into the place where the objects are there. इसलिए ये वाला भी थोड़ा ख्याल रखना. माइंड एट हायर स्टेज में तो माइंड में रहने वाले ही ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम होते हैं, बाहर से भी ज्यादा. क्योंकि एट द वेरी ग्रॉसर लेवल of this Pururavas explanation, the outer objects create the desire in mind, but at the subtler level, all the objects were created by the mind only, no? सटल से ग्रास बनता है कि ग्रास से सटल बनता है, सूक्ष्म से स्थूल बनता है ना, स्थूल से सूक्ष्म नहीं होता, स्थूल से सूक्ष्म, सूक्ष्म से स्थूल. Because the सूक्ष्म is our mano. Therefore, we have to be clear that from our mind, the importance and desire of things and beings should go away. Why this is more important? Because if from the mind and the desire for things being go away, how long you go on keeping away from the things outside? How can you do if the situation comes where you are exposing your ears and eyes for them because it's not in your control? You have to move in the world, you have to be with the people, you have to see the things. हमेशा नहीं होगा ना वो जो पुरूराव जी ने कहा, वो तो फ्रॉम हिज स्टैंड पॉइंट पक्का. That also to be done, but the main goal is what? Only by the bhakti and prema and jnana, mind should be filled with Bhagavad Bhavana towards everything and being of the world. With that Bhavana, wherever you go, you see the Lord only. Siya Ramai Sab Jagajani. Then where will the desire coming? That is why Bhagavan talks about that thing. Bhagavan could have concluded here by giving Pururava's story and his song. But Bhagavan understood that his song is beautiful from his side, complete from his side, but not complete from the complete side. Because he said, don't go to Vishaya Indriya, then the mind becomes Shamya. But all the time you can't do it. No. Then what to do? The only way is what? The Indriyas mana with which we go into the world, divinize them. If I divinize, like before I start from my home morning, anything I see today, anybody I see today, I look at them as Bhagavan. With this preparation, you go and try to practice it. Thousand people we may meet, thousand things we may see, we will not have desire. देखो ये प्रिपरेशन बेटर है कि नहीं, परमानेंट है कि नहीं. And that is achieved through Vedantic knowledge. Through the knowledge that everything is Brahmamayam. So too in the Bhakti Bhavana, we can come to that state that the entire Rupanama is Paramatma's expression only. Then how can we have desire for anything? We should have service attitude, devotion attitude. And having service and devotion attitude is the actual thing. If this is it has come into us, we have used the buddhi. Instead of devotion and service attitude, the kama and bhoga attitude comes. Means we have used the mana, or mana has used us, and we only imagined that it is a bhoga. Then the indriyas body, मैं भी हूँ, हम भी है, आ जाते हैं. अब तीनों मिलकर देह इंद्रिय मना, they will make us look at the world only as object of indulgence. Then we destroy ourselves. Point is what, yeah? This possibility of looking at the world as Bhagavan and evolving from all the desires and seeing the Paramatma actually is there in human beings. The possibility. Just like the possibility of seeing the world and imagining it as Bhogavastu and indulging it through by indulging and getting destroyed. ये वाली पॉसिबिलिटी जैसे हमारे अंदर है वैसे ही पॉजिटिव वाली है. अब चॉइस हमारा है कौन सा करना. The possibility of seeing the world as Bhogavastu, create the desire, get totally destroyed. You want to do, all welcome, your zindagi. No, 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 no. The other possibility of, that's what? Drushtim Jnanamayam Krutva, Pashyat Brahmamayam Jagat. नजर को ठीक कर लो. दैट इज वाई ऑल द शास्त्रास आर कॉल्ड दर्शन शास्त्रास, जो हमारे दर्शन को ठीक करते हैं. बुरी नजर को हमें निकाल कर अच्छा नजर करना है तो मुंह काला हो जाएगा. सब नजर में हमारे नजर को ठीक करना. एंड देन द बुरा नजर भी किसी ने कहा, हमने माना, प्रैक्टिस किया, आदत हुआ. Good nazar also, gurus will say, we will listen, we practice, and we become that. Choice is always. And one thought which we are describing, discussing morning and evening nowadays is what? Finally, it is my life. Whether you want to make it or mar it. It's yours. Even Bhagwan also तेरी मर्जी है तुम्हारी मर्जी है इसलिए when रावण आदि ask for those boons भगवान तुम्हारी मर्जी है तो ऐसा मांग रहे हैं कि तेरा सत्यानाश होगा मैं क्या करूं तेरी मर्जी it's our life it is my life not yours it's mine then after that becoming a kurpana begging on the road becoming so frustrated and miserable then सबको help पुकार remember if after doing all the worst things as a result, when we fall to such a lower level, even at that time, to come out of all that, what we have to do is this only. आप पहले ये करो ना नालायक There's no other way. After going through all nonsense, as a solution, what we are will be told. घूम फिरा के आप कितने भी जन्म मैंने सड़कर जिए हैं after thousand janam also when we get frustrated and we ask enough of the thousand janam frustration oh lord I want mukti what bhagavan says is the same thing which he said thousand janam back now a bewakoof is the only one who postpones and suffers for the thousand lives that's the proof of his bewakoofi a wise person says anyway when I have to come to this only it is already open door to me why not go for it एक दो नुस्खे इसमें क्या होता है ना दिस टेम्पटेशंस फॉर द बीइंग वर्ल्डलीनेस इट कम्स एज वेरी पावरफुल थॉट फॉर सम टाइम if the time we can conquer no then we are normal on the path like in the road that speed breakers or the turns or लाल बत्ती और ट्रैफिक जाम कभी कभी होता है उस समय हम संभाल कर पार करें तो जर्नी स्मूथ you understand some of the nukshe like morning nidra heavy nidra comes we get succumb to that but those 10-15 minutes with willpower if we can withstand to that take bath and do you can say after 30 minutes all that power of nidra powerful force gone you can engage in your sadhana so to the vishayas so to any of the desires when we can withstand to that whenever it attacks us for some time like काफी का कामना हुआ तुरंत भागते हैं उसके लिए थोड़ा 10 मिनट टाइम दो ना वो काफी का कामना धीरे कम होता है चला जाता है in this way many of the desires we can avoid one or two may be powerful they with all this practice we can come out you know why they will go into a gufa or any very secluded narrow place for tapasya you know शरीर भी इतना फंसा हुआ है उधर हाथ पैर हिलाने को भी टाइम नहीं है कहीं जा नहीं सकते अब करे क्या सिर्फ मन है अपने हाथ में मन को शरीर से अलग करके उससे ध्यान तपस्या करो that is how they used to force themselves after that force slowly it used to become habit that habit used to give them happiness which habit of doing meditation you know you stay in 6 by 6 house you can't go anywhere you can't put tv nothing आज जितना अपने आप को बंधन में डालते हैं ना उतना हम स्थूल से सूक्ष्म में जाएंगे स्थूल में आप फ्रीडम ज्यादा देते हो ना स्थूल में फंस जाते हैं small gufa you can see in India at least 5,000 gufas must be there where Maha yogis sat there तपस्या अब पूछो उनको इस गुफा में क्यों बैठे हो आराम में बैठ सकते हैं ना out of many other reasons one of the reason is this when you are limiting yourself for your movement physically your mind also becomes stabilized then what to do with that frustration कहीं जा तो नहीं रहा है अब एक ही चीज बचा है भगवान का नाम लो like why they are put in jail nothing is given एक ही चीज बचा है to know that what mistake you did and I will not do it again Self jailing, one of the techniques. Like some more, we'll see tomorrow. Sarvam Narayana Arpanam Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Krishna Chandra Bhagavan Ki Jai. Great, thank you. Mhm. I think among so many chapters of Bhagavata, the 15th chapter and this one, we have given good time. Also to the earlier,